All right, everybody, this is Taylor Martin once again with Senior Security Benefits. We are going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully when this call is over here in about 30 minutes, you guys will have all the tools that you need to be able to sell this plan to your current MedSup, Med Advantage, ACA clients, over under 65. That's one of the things I love about this product is it crosses the 65-year-old line seamlessly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, number one, why even talk about this? Well, hopefully by now you figured that out because this is the number one product that people ask about. We do a lot of business, many of you guys know, with cancer, heart attack, and stroke, and you may go your whole career and never get asked about a cancer, heart attack, and stroke plan. But you're probably asked every week, some of you maybe every day, about dental or dental, vision, and hearing. Well, the Manhattan product that we're going to talk about today does cover both, or really all three, dental, vision, and hearing. And unlike many of the other plans that are out there, there's not a lower cap on vision and hearing, which is one of the huge things you're going to hear me really talk about that separates this Manhattan plan from the competition. At a high level, there is no product in this space that is as benefit rich as the Manhattan plan. Show me, it just doesn't exist. This is by far the richest plan out there. Very few people have this, especially in the senior space. Most of your group plans all cancel when people retire. A lot of them do. And so only 12% of people over age 65 have dental coverage. So huge opportunity as far as offering this product. And I apologize, I'm a licensed agent. I love to talk sales. I kind of go there almost immediately. But if you just add this one point to your presentation, especially when turning 65, this is the question to ask. Write this down. Mrs. Jones, were you aware that Medicare does virtually nothing when it comes to dental, vision, or hearing coverage? Well, the good news is for about $1 a day, we can get you $1,000 of coverage towards your dental, vision, and hearing expenses, again, that are not covered by your Medicare and or Medicare supplement plan. So if you just do that in every single presentation, especially to people turning 65, because they don't know what they don't know, and if you just do that every single time, I think you'll find that you will start attaching this exact product to 30 to 40% of your Medicare supplement and even Medicare Advantage plans. But Taylor, hold on. Medicare Advantage plans often cover dental. Yeah, well, they can, but it depends year to year what it's going to look like. With Medicare Advantage, it may only cover your preventative stuff, your basics, not your majors. It may not cover root canals or crowns or bridges or dentures. And it may be probably is network-based coverage, and it may not cover vision, it may not cover hearing. Again, it could, but here's one thing to keep in mind. They can double dip. They can buy a Manhattan plan, maybe just buy the $1,000 instead of the $1,500 or the new $3,000 plan. And they can file with both Manhattan and their Medicare Advantage plan. Keep in mind the Medicare Advantage plan, the dental coverage, or maybe vision, maybe hearing, or maybe all three, or maybe none of them. But often that's just cooked into the plan. So Med Advantage, if it's zero premium and it's giving them some of those benefits, they can use the Manhattan plan and their Medicare Advantage plan and make their benefits even go that much farther if they have MA. So this is a great product to make money during MA. Obviously, Medicare Advantage plans aren't going to be able to pay you until January or February. That's a CMS law. Well, obviously, if you're selling DVH, it's going to pay you, within days of you submitting the application. So it's a great way to make some income during the AEP, which obviously today is the first day of the pre-AEP. So that's a timely point. Persistency is going to increase by attaching this plan. Why is that? Is because the more products the client has with you, the less likely they are to work with anybody else. So keep that in mind. You're not being the pushy salesperson that's talking to the client at 65. You're actually telling them what Medicare does and doesn't do. And same at any age, but especially at 65, you've really just got to prepare your clients to help them understand there's a lot of things here beyond just what original Medicare does and doesn't do. Top producing agents, as I already mentioned, are attaching this exact product to a third, some as high as 40% of their insurance sales. We have a small call center in our office where we sell a mix of over and under 65. This is our top selling plan every single week. Doesn't matter if they're over 65, doesn't matter if they're under 65, because this product is a perfect fit. 18 to 85, pretty much anybody that you can talk to. And if you ever run across somebody who's uninsurable for a Medicare supplement or a short-term medical or a fixed indemnity, obviously ACA has no health questions, nor do Medicare Advantage plans, even with the SRD this coming enrollment period. Guarantee issue. We've got no health questions with DVH. So the minute you run across somebody who doesn't qualify for one of those plans I mentioned, write them a DVH plan and let them know, hey, Mrs. Jones, it looks like it's going to be about 6 months before I can write you with the Medicare supplement plan based on the fact you had a heart attack a year and a half ago. But we can get you in the dental, vision, and hearing coverage that you tell me you're interested in that you don't have. We can lock that down now, and I can come back in 6 months and enroll you in the Medicare supplement plan. And since they're already your client, of course, you can go ahead and call them. So why Manhattan? And I apologize, I touched on a little bit. Like I said, I'm a salesman and I love this product. Forgot to mention my business partner and I, Galen Hendricks, we actually designed this product. I think it's been about 6 years now. And we are closing in on 300,000 people who have bought this plan. Wow, that is really exciting. If I haven't already mentioned, this is one of the leading dental vintage hearing plans, dental vision and hearing plans as far as enrollments go in this space, and has been a leading plan for some time. So why is that? Well, I'm biased, but I think it is the best combination of rates, benefits, and comp of any plan on the market. And by the time we're done here today, hopefully you'll see and agree with me on that. No networks, huge point with this plan. You can go to any dentist you want. And in fact, and I'll cover it on the next slide here in a moment, Careington is a silent network with this plan. Aetna, we sell a lot of Aetna, good plan, different plan. It is very much reliant on the Careington network. We tell people if you're selling Aetna, make sure you check every single time that they are in the Careington network, because that plan works very different if they're not in the Careington network. Well, Manhattan's very different from Aetna in that it pays 100% of usual and customary if they do go out of network. I'll give you a claim example here in a minute to show you how rich that is. But if they do see a Careington provider, it's going to do two things. One, they'll be able to pay their claims right at the doctor's office, or their co-insurance, co-payments, I should say. And it's also going to help their $1,000, $1,500, or $3,000 annual maximum go further, because they are getting those network discounts as part of Careington. But again, it's a silent network. They don't have to use it if they don't want to. But if it makes sense, if the dentist they like is in it, or if they're in the market for a new dentist, I highly recommend seeing Careington for those two reasons. Family plans are available. We sell a bunch of those in the under 65 space. Over 65, you're going to be selling individual plans almost exclusively, because when you look at the family rates, it doesn't really make sense for two people to buy a family plan. The rates are cheaper buying two individual plans. National premiums, benefits, and commissions, definitely true on comp. There's a handful of states where the premiums are a little different and where the benefits are a touch different. Florida's a state where they said you can't have dental, vision, and hearing. That's illegal. But if you do dental with vision and hearing as riders, well, that's okay. Well, what you'll find in Florida is the rates for all three, you'd be silly to just sell dental. Vision and hearing are so inexpensive relative to dental coverage. So just package all three if you do business in Florida. That's just one state I point out to show that the benefits are a little different there. Everywhere else, they're the same. Ohio, the max is 70% instead of 80. Again, another crazy state law. But for the most part, the benefits are the same everywhere. Preventative and basic services start immediately. There is no waiting period on those. So what is preventative and basic? Well, pretty much anything as far as dental goes outside of dentures, denture repairs, crowns, root canals, Those are all considered majors. So, you know, fillings, those are covered immediately. Extractions are covered immediately, as long as they're not getting all their teeth pulled. You know, think going to dentures. They can get 4 or 5 or however many teeth they need pulled, as long as they're leaving one in the mouth. They're not getting them all pulled out at one time. We had an employee who actually had 6 fillings in his first year, and this plan covers covered all of them. A lot of plans will only cover a max of 4 fillings and 4 extractions. This plan does not. Huge selling point with Manhattan is once the client gets in year 2, they're already at 70% coverage on majors. Year 3, we're at 80% coverage on majors. Most of your other plans out there are going to cap majors in year 2 at 50 or 60%. Hardly anybody else goes to 70 or 80%. So a huge benefit of this plan is the coinsurance is so high on the coverage. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll mention it probably 3 or 4 times again. The pool of money with Manhattan is unheard of in this space. There is not another product that I'm aware of that works like Manhattan where there's not a lower cap on vision and hearing. You think of Aetna, again, they have a $250 cap on vision every other year, $500 on hearing every year. So that is not the case with Manhattan. They can use whatever percentage of their benefits, again, whether it's 1,000, 1,500, or 3,000, however they want. Maybe it's hearing aid year and they're going to spend all of their benefit buying some really expensive hearing aids. Well, that's fine. They can do that. They're not going to see that cap, which with other plans out there, clients are going to get upset when they see those caps and say, wait a second, I thought I had a $1,000 plan. You're telling me I only have a $250 plan for vision? Well, it's complicated. Yeah, people don't like complicated. This plan is really simple. The EAP, it used to be a huge selling point with this plan because mother's maiden name is the way you sign the application. But most of the peers out there have followed Manhattan and have an equally easy electronic application, but it is still considered to be the industry standard as far as EAPs go. I've touched on some of these, but the age group eligibility, again, 18 to 85, 1,000, 1,500, new $3,000 benefit, which we're really excited about. There is a policy year deductible of $100 per person. Again, policy year, not calendar year, just something to be aware of. So as I mentioned earlier on dental, really on all 3, it's 60, 70, 80%, 60% year 1, 70 year 2, 80 year 3, and thereafter. So again, on dental, basic and preventative are covered year 1. Major stuff is not covered year 1, but 70% year 2. There are other plans that'll pay 15, 20% year 1, but gosh, they are really expensive and they're never going to go over 50% coverage on majors. So do you want to buy a plan for somebody who's got an immediate need that's going to pay them very little and never over 50%? Hint, hint, I'm talking about emeritus. And they're never going to get hearing because that's not an option. And if they want vision, they have to pay more for it. Oh, and wait, they're all network-based plans. I mean, are you really doing your client the best service by just giving them a little bit of coverage in year 1 and such little coverage in the subsequent years? And again, they can't buy hearing. I don't know. That's a question to ask yourself and definitely talk to your client about. Vision coverage, we've got a 6-month wait on glasses and contacts, and then that waiting period's over. Hearing aid, we've got a 12-month wait, and then it's 70% year 2, 80% on hearing. The $3,000 max benefit, it's something we are thrilled to roll out there. Very few other plans offer that much. I will tell you that is a lot of coverage. Let's look at this example down here. So we've got somebody who gets a regular cleaning, it's $267, and I'll go through that example in a moment. That's what the 100% of usual and customary is. In the Houston zip code, it does vary by 3-digit zips, but not much. Crown, almost $1,250. 1,000 still is kind of a common number. So again, very rich. So that total bill for a regular cleaning plus a crown, $1,516. We've got a plan deductible, again, policy year deductible of $100. We're in year 3, so we're at 80% coverage. So that claim is going to be paid by Manhattan is going to be $1,133.23 because, again, this is their first time going to the dentist. They had not satisfied their deductible. Client's going to pay $383 out of pocket. Wow, not bad, guys. The nice thing is if they have the $3,000 plan, they've got almost $2,000 left for the policy year to use towards vision, hearing, or even more dental work if they need to. My point in showing you this is there's a new plan out there with Nationwide that's really gotten some attention because it's got up to $5,000 of dental coverage. Ask yourself or ask your clients, have they ever had $5,000 of dental work in their life? That is so much dental coverage. Maybe it's because I brush my teeth really well once a day. I know it should be 2, sometimes 2 a day. I get my cleanings religiously twice a year. I've had 1 crown in my life. I had a couple fillings as a kid. I haven't had one in, gosh, 30 years. I'm dating myself. I know I'm 43, almost 44. But I don't know if I've had $3,000 of dental work in my life. My point in telling you that is $3,000 with Manhattan is so much more than other companies when it's just dental with other companies. Well, Manhattan, again, it's dental, vision, and hearing with no lower caps on vision and hearing. You got the $3,000 pool of money. Again, also applies on $1,000 and $1,500. My point in telling you this is $5,000 with Nationwide, guys, it's really a mirage. I mean, that is so much coverage. God forbid your client ever actually have that much in 1 year because it's going to be a really painful year for them. They actually have a chance of spending all $3,000 with Manhattan because they get 80% coverage on hearing. They get 80% coverage on vision. And of course, on dental too, with no lower caps on vision and hearing. And then, again, with other companies, they don't even cover hearing. Emeritus, Nationwide as examples. The Careington Network, I touched on this earlier. Again, it's totally optional, but the benefit to the client is twofold. One, they can satisfy their co-payments and all that right there and then with the client, with the dentist office, and it's going to make their benefit amount, their annual benefit amount, whatever it is, go further. But again, it's optional. They don't have to see a Careington dentist. If they're not currently seeing a dentist, I recommend they find one in the network for the 2 reasons I mentioned, but it's not required. So let's talk about how usual and customary works, because this plan does pay 100% of usual and customary. You'll also hear reasonable and customary. And let me go, I'm going to come back to the rates here in just a second. So let's jump down to the highlighted section here below where it says how DVH claims are paid. All right. The first 3 bullets are what are going to happen at almost every dentist visit. The only one that may not happen every visit is the bite wing x-rays. A lot of times people are just getting that done once a year, but let's assume it's the visit where they're doing all 3. All right, so we're looking at basically $270 for the exam. That's basically when the dentist gets there with the little sharp metal hooked thing and they start probing around for new business. Yes, that's right. They're looking for fillings, potential crowns, root canals. It's kind of like when you go get the oil change, you're like, we did a 32-point inspection. Well, again, same deal. They're looking for new business. Teeth cleaning, obviously, that's where all the work's done. That's where the dental hygienist gets in there and makes a total mess, spraying water all over the place. That's why you have the bib. And then again, the x-rays probably once a year. Believe it or not, it wasn't that long ago before I had dental insurance. I paid $50 cash per year for all 3 of those. There's a reason why dentists, when they find out how rich this plan is, they're like, can you tell your agent maybe to run some brochures by the office? We'd love to put some on our counter for clients who don't have any dental insurance. Yeah, they're business people. This is a really rich product, really rich. Crown, again, almost $1,250. Bottom line, 100% of usual and customary is a big number. Let's jump down to the last bullet and talk about claims. Again, if your client sees a Careington provider, they can settle up with the when they're checking out, when they're leaving the dentist. If they, for whatever reason, their dentist doesn't take any insurance, that's fine. My answer to that, jumping ahead a little bit once again, is do they take cash? Well, yeah, of course they do, right? They'll take a check, cash, credit cards, whatever. sometimes they'll even bill you and you just pay them when you get the bill. Well, you can think of this plan as a reimbursement plan if you want, if for those dentists who don't take any insurance or aren't in the Careington network. So what happens there is you submit your explanation of benefits, what you had done at the dentist's office, to Manhattan. You can upload them through their website, you can fax them in, you can mail them in. Once they receive them, typically it's about 10 days to 2 weeks for the client to get reimbursed. So again, you go to Careington, you don't have to fool with that. If the dentist doesn't take any insurance, this plan still works, unlike so many other dentist plans out there. Another reason to love this plan is the flexibility of it. And again, the fact that there's no lower caps on dental or vision or hearing. Premiums, let's look at premiums real quick. All right, let's talk about 64. And with this plan, watch your age bands, guys, especially for people who are turning 65. Because when you look at the rates 64 to 65, for the same $1,000 coverage, you're paying $2.50 more for the same coverage. So simple math, that's $30 a year. So you can tell your client, Mrs. Jones, would you like to save a month's premium or nearly a month's premium? You can do that by enrolling in this plan before you turn 65. Because again, it's the exact same benefit, so there's no reason to pay any more. Let's go ahead and make sure we cover this benefit gap for you, because again, as I already mentioned, Medicare does nothing for routine dental, vision, or hearing. Let's get you covered for $1,000 of that right now. Well, okay, if you want more than $1,000, sure, let's look at the other benefits here. For $1,500, it's $46 a month, and for $3,000, it's $64, it's $59. So let's talk about that. $1,000 is $35. For $11 more a month, roughly, we can get $500 more coverage. So you're paying basically $130 for $500 of more coverage. Seems like a pretty good deal. And it's roughly the same amount, $13 and change above $1,500 to get an additional $1,500. Wow. So again, the price difference between $1,000 and $1,500 is $11 roughly a month, and to go from $1,000 to $3,000, 12 and change. Yeah, don't just fall under the $1,000 trap. Again, sell something. If that's what you're comfortable with, go for it. But I would still point out that the price difference to up that from 1,000 to 1,500 to 3,000, we're not talking about a lot of money here. Again, especially when you consider no lower caps on vision and hearing, 80% coverage in year 3. Client really has a chance of hitting that maximum benefit maybe every year if they're getting expensive glasses or expensive hearing aids or serious dental work. Huge differentiator with this plan. This is a quick little screenshot of what the e-app looks like. You'll see down here at the bottom right above submit where it says mother's maiden name. Guys, it's that simple. That is how you, quote, sign the application. State availability. The main takeaway here is that beige or tan is bad. When I say bad, those are the states where this product's not available. The good news is in the continental US, outside of Washington, Nevada, and Minnesota, it's everywhere except for New York and East. Obviously, most of y'all know on this call, New York and East are challenging insurance states, period. Those other states have some kind of crazy rules like for TMJ and some other stuff. But the good news is this product is available pretty much everywhere. And as I mentioned, outside of Florida, where you've got to attach vision and hearing to the dental plan, there's separate riders. It's the same benefits everywhere. Ohio, again, is another one where they don't go over 70%. Again, it's a state law, kind of a weird deal. But the product is pretty much everywhere and very similar in all states. So California, a state that's tough to get into, Florida, Pennsylvania, a lot of really populated states here, this product is available. And again, there are close to 300,000 people who already have this plan. Spouse in the house. This is something we actually trademarked about 2 years ago. And it sounds kind of silly, and that's for a reason. It's to make you think about this. We're really talking to Medicare agents who are, frankly, scared to sell products in the under 65 space. Well, I challenge you, if you're in the Medicare space, when somebody's turning 65, you're already doing the hardest thing. And by that, I mean, you're asking the question, Mrs. Jones, do you have a roommate or a spouse who's under age 65? Obviously, if they're looking to buy a med sup, you're trying to get them a discount. Ascendo offers a whopping 14% in many states if it's available. Cigna's offers a 15% discount if both the husband and wife or the roommate are both in the house, as well as both apply. So it is a there's some major benefits for people who enroll and have a roommate under age 65. Well, here's a couple extra questions. Tell me about your insurance person who's under 65. What do you have right now? Do you have a ACA plan? Do you have a short-term medical, fixed indemnity, group health? Nothing. Guys, often the answer is nothing, especially people who are closing in on 65. They literally wake up every morning, say a little prayer, cross their fingers, and hope nothing happens until they turn 65. Well, I don't know if that's the best plan, but it's a common plan. So if you just learn a little bit about ACA plans, especially when it comes to coverage for dental, vision, and hearing, there's a real opportunity to attach this product or to sell this product under 65, just like over 65. ACA plans do not cover any dental for adults. They do for kids, but not for adults. They don't cover hearing aids. They don't cover glasses or contact lenses. So what does that sound like? Well, it sounds just like MedSup, guys, right? So again, if they have an ACA plan, they need this plan just like somebody who's turning 65. Again, great way to increase your income. It's also going to drop the cost per acquisition, which those of you who run your numbers know that term. It's a really important one. It's going to help your persistency. And I would venture a guess that says when that client turns 65, it's probably going to be that much easier for you to write them a MedSup or a Med Advantage plan when you've already got your foot in the door. And by that, I mean you've already got them as a client. And you can also call them since they're already a client, because again, we can't do outbound calls with Medicare Advantage unless they're your client. You got to start the conversation, guys. That is the number one thing that you can do to increase your sales of really any ancillary or supplemental health product. But with dental, it's so easy. Help them understand their exposure. Again, at 65, here's what you tell them. Mrs. Jones, I'm not sure if you're aware, but believe it or not, Medicare actually has zero coverage for routine dental, glasses, hearing aids, contact lenses. But the good news is for about $1 a day or $1.50, depending upon how much coverage you're looking for, we can take $1,000, $1,500, or even $3,000 of risk off the table by enrolling in you in a Manhattan Life dental, vision, and hearing plan today. Guys, if you do just that, I can't imagine that took me 30 seconds. You will attach this to likely 30 to 40% of your MedSup Medicare Advantage plans. People are doing it and have been doing it for years. You can do it too. If you've got an uninsurable MedSup, as I mentioned before, or an uninsurable fixed indemnity or short-term medical client, go right to DVH, because again, there's no health questions. You've got somebody during lock-in. We've got another 2 weeks while you can't sell a Medicare Advantage plan, right? Well, sell them a PDP today and then come back in 2 weeks if MA is where they're going to go, and then sell them an MA plan. I like to think of it this way: sell something. Let's see, DVH questions. Okay, pick one, try them all, see which one works best for you. I try to avoid questions that avoid a yes, or more explicitly a no answer. So that's why some of these aren't going to generate a yes or a no answer. You can be so direct to say this: who do you have for your dental insurance? Knowing that most of them are going to say they don't have any. We like this one. When was the last time you had your teeth cleaned? It's been a while. Well, let's get you enrolled in a DVH plan with Manhattan Life today, and you can go ahead and get that first appointment set up with the dentist, the day after your policy is effective. There's no wait on getting any cleanings or any routine dental work done. Let's start your, dental maintenance and get you on the 2 times a year routine today. I mentioned this: are you aware that Medicare covers zero dental, vision, or hearing routine stuff? And this plan does, for about $1 a day. You've heard me say $1 a day a lot. We're huge fans of that. I love that. Your clients get it. It helps them see that this is not something that's going to put them in a poorhouse. And I bet they can probably identify things that they spend $1 a day on right now, maybe Starbucks, maybe a candy bar, that are junk. And if just they make some better habits, they can already afford this. Common objections. This first one, believe it or not, is an agent objection, typically. I've never seen the value in a DVH plan. Guys, I tell you, I shared that one until we designed this plan and did it differently. We did it without lower caps on vision and hearing. We did it without a mandated network. So this plan is much different from the other ones out there. Again, there is not a dental, vision, and hearing plan out there that is as benefit rich as this one, period. And it's also really affordable. I would also tell you to think about your client's financial situation and not yours. Hopefully everybody on this call can weather a bad dental visit where they get told they need a crown and a root canal, which may be $200 to $2,500, not fun and really painful in a process because you have to kind of go through some steps to get it done. It's typically not done at one visit. Well, think about your clients. Average Social Security payments around $1,300 a month. I've seen a lot of people making less than that a month. Well, think about that scenario for them. They've got to, pay their groceries, their living expenses, whatever other bills they may have out of that $1,300. Hopefully they have a pension or some other form of income. But if they don't, and even if they have some other form of income, a $2,500 bill is catastrophic. I mean, imagine a volcano going up in their financial plan. It's that bad. So again, think of your client and not your financial situation. 80% coverage on majors in year 3, or really on everything in the third policy year, or even 70% in year 2 is a game changer for them. And when you look at the premium versus the benefits, I think you'll find the same thing. My dentist doesn't take insurance. I touched on this one earlier. Does he take cash? Don't be too cheeky and turn off your client there. But the point that you're making is you don't have to go to a network-based dentist with this plan. They can continue to see their dentist who doesn't take any insurance. That's fine. Just help them understand how claims work and how they will submit those to Manhattan, as I outlined earlier. I don't have any teeth. Guys, this is an objection I actually saw myself, and the guy thought it was so funny, he went ahead and pulled his teeth out of his mouth, by teeth I mean dentures, and dropped them on the table and started cackling. He kind of looked like this guy in the picture. He thought it was hilarious. I kind of recoiled back. I moved back in my chair, expecting to get spittle all over me. It was a little frightening, and this was pre-COVID. Well, after I recovered, I was quick to tell him, well, the nice thing about this plan is in the second year, it's going to cover dentures and denture repairs at 70%, and in year 3, it's at 80%. And then I asked the question, when was the last time you had to have your dentures repaired? Oh gosh, I had a big bite out of a popsicle and it cracked one of my front teeth on my denture plate in half. Nobody wants to look like a goofball, so I had to get it fixed immediately. It was a total pain and it was really expensive. Okay, how much did that cost? You get the idea. When was the last time you bought new dentures? How much did those cost? Well, this plan covers dentures and it covers denture repairs. Sold. And it also covers vision and hearing, and of course, go through all that. This last one is the toughest objection on here, and that's for a good reason. And that's I need coverage for major dental work now. I'm in pain, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's likely that they haven't had any cleanings or any dental work done in a long time. Well, so here's what we do. Mr. Jones, let's get your plan covered right now. You can go ahead and get a cleaning immediately. Maybe all you need is a filling. Maybe you just want to go ahead and get that tooth or teeth pulled. This plan does cover both of those immediately, and there's no caps on the number of fillings and extractions that you can have, so long as you're not getting all of your teeth pulled, think going to dentures. But this plan does not cover crowns, root canals, dentures in the first year, but it does cover them in year 2 at 70%, year 3 at 80%. So that's not going to convert everybody. Again, there are other plans out there if they want 20%, a measly 20% coverage in the first year, and they will never have hearing coverage. Yes, I'm talking about Emeritus. Not a bad plan, a very popular plan, but again, is it worth it? I would say that it's not, considering what they're giving up in year 2, in year 3. What's in it for me? This is my favorite slide, and in fact, this is our last slide. All right, what is in it for me? Average premium is about $425. We're looking at 40% year 1 commission in all states, 5% renewal paid years 2+. So in the first year, we're looking at $170 in year 1 commissions, and they'll advance 6 months of that up front, or you can be paid as earned, of course. So 1 sale a week. we're not even talking about like a husband and wife here. We're talking one sale a week is almost $9,000 in new found money. Why do I say it that way? Because it's on top of what you're already selling, your MedSup, your Med Advantage, your under 65 health sales. And it's going to help your persistency. And it's going to drop your cost per acquisition. There's so many great things. Your client's buying this. They're buying it from somebody. And what you've got to think is if they buy it from somebody, that guy, somebody who's not you, that agent may be savvy enough to say, tell me about your primary health insurance. What do you have there? I might be able to help you there too. Oh, well, I've got this. Next thing you know, you lost your MedSup, your Med Advantage, or your ACA sale too, because you didn't help them with your dental vision, their dental vision and hearing coverage. Don't be that guy. All right, these are the other products that Manhattan Life offers, and that's the hospital indemnity. Think under 65, really robust coverage for ACA alternatives, first dollar coverage, no deductibles. We sell a ton of it. It's a great product. We actually sued HHS and were able to sell those plans because we won. And that was about 3 or 4 years ago. So we're very familiar with those plans. We actually designed them. Out-of-pocket protection plan is a great product to sell to people in the under 65 space, whether it's supplementing an ACA, the affordable choice fixed indemnity plan, short-term medical, treats maternity as any other illness. We're still in that $1 a day, $1.50 day range, and there's a huge 3 different options for very large lump sum payments first night in the hospital. We literally had a former employee who had this plan. It paid for almost all of her maternity coverage just with this $1 a day type plan. Definitely look at it. It is part of the same contract for dental vision and hearing for those of you in the under 65 space. And Manhattan does a ton of cancer. They have for years. They've got some good products there as well. Guys, I'm not going to open this up to questions because we have pros waiting on the phone to answer those questions for you if you have any, if they weren't answered. Please reach out. That is 800. The phone number is 800-299-5567, 800-299-5567, or you can email us at marketing@insmg.com, marketing@insmg.com. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope all of you on the call today have a fantastic AEP. Thank you so much for joining me.